What's up, Florida sports fans? It's your boy, the Black Andy Cap. We back at it. These Three Things podcast, jumping into Florida State versus Miami football game this weekend, right? That's the big thing in Florida college football, which is a big focus of our podcast. Before going any further, like the video, subscribe, be sure to comment, tell me what you think. All right, yeah, but that's the big news, right? That's the big game for us Florida college football fans. I don't care if you are a fan of either school. You just gotta love this rivalry because you know the history of it is just great, right? Wide rights. Always seems to be a close game no matter the circumstances, and so looking forward to this one. While Miami is a 7-point favorite, I believe, if I was a betting man, which I'm not, but if I was a betting man, I would say Miami's gonna win this game. I'm not counting out the Florida State Seminoles. A lot of people feel that way. Not sure why. Well, a lot of it's just, hate, right? If you're a Noles fan, that's just how you feel because it's a rivalry game. But I think there's some other reasons why Florida State has a better than just an okay chance to win this game, and better than outside. I think they can compete in this game. If they can stay in it, they can have a chance at the end, right? So looking forward to it. But what are three things about this game that I think will have the impact, right? That could go either way. That could decide whether or not it's a blowout, close game, whatever. So thing number one, does Mario live up to expectation and control the lines of scrimmage? That's what he's touted, right? Particularly offensive line wise. He's saying he wants to control the line of scrimmage up front with his offensive line. All the hoopla we've been hearing. Oh yeah, this is the spirit of the team. Kirk Herbstreit kept reiterating that, like, hey, this is where all the drive comes from. So can his offensive line control the line of scrimmage? If they do, then that's where I think it's going to be a long day for Noles fans and that squad, because that'll take the crowd out of it. They're going to control the ball, and you won't get that many opportunities to get your get back, right? And based on what we saw against Virginia, your defense up front couldn't stop the run. You got gashed. I mean, just got crushed, right? So if Mario's O-line does what it's planning on doing to you, it's going to be a long day, Florida State. Going to be a very long day. Thing number two, I said this in the post game to Virginia, Florida State. Gus Malzahn is a great offensive coordinator. I don't care how you feel about him. I don't care how you felt about him at Auburn. I know there was some bad blood there. They didn't like him. They brought him back. They liked him again. Things didn't work out at UCF, but the dude he's a great offensively when he's got the right personnel. I think he has the right personnel up in Tallahassee, right? Even at Virginia, now we don't know how good Virginia's defense is, but even at Virginia, he was able to score points. They just had turnovers, right? They don't turn the ball over on those first two drives. That game turns out differently. We're talking differently maybe today, but the reason I say that is because I think Gus Malzahn can keep Florida State in the game, right? If he can score, right? So can he do what he wants to do in this game? Again, Mario wants to control the lines of scrimmage, and his second point of emphasis is the defensive line. That's what he wants to control, right? So can he, because if he can control the defensive line, he can control Gus, right? He can keep Castellanos in the pocket, keep him from running, make him less effective, make him more one-dimensional, right? Stop the running game, puts a lot of pressure on Castellanos to throw the ball, and he seemed like he's not. We don't know how that's going to work out because his legs are a part of what makes that offense so potent. So that's going to be interesting, right? Can Gus Malzahn get it done? Thing number three. Are the Miami Hurricanes as good as we think they are? I think they have to prove that a little bit in this game, right? They beat Notre Dame, and but then Notre Dame went back and lost another game against another ranked team. So outside of Notre Dame, right, you have Bethune-Cookman in there. You have Florida, not a great team, right? USF, that was expected, right? So there's still some question about your offense. Is your offense as good as we think it is? Is your defense as good as we think it is, right? They look pretty damn good. They look so good that you're ranked the number three team in the AP poll with four votes for first place, right? So there's a lot of expectation, and I think you're a pretty good team. Are you the number 3 team? We'll find that out. Again, I think how you deal with Florida State will help us learn that, right? Florida State doesn't seem to have much of a defense, so it looks like you're going to be able to control the ball and run the ball and do what you want, right? But if Florida State can find some way to slow you down and Beck hasn't looked great, does this become a game, right? Then we say, hey, maybe you ain't the team we thought you were. So I think, and then you've got the offense, right? You've got Florida State's offense, which is proven that it can move the ball. If they can move the ball on you like they've done everybody else this season, even Virginia, they lost that game, but they moved the ball. If they can move the ball like that, do they stay in the game? Right now, you might need Beck. What happens if, you have some turnovers? Florida State's at home. They get a 10-point lead, right? And their defense stiffens, right? Or they can keep up with you. Let's say they get a 10-point lead, but then they score, it's 10-7, but they come back 17-7. Can you stop them, right? Can you stop them? Are you good enough to stop this team? We don't know that for certain. Your offense hasn't looked great, right? Florida's defense stopped you, right? Is Florida State's defense as good as Florida's defense? I don't think so. That's one of the bright spots for the Gators, but we don't know, right? We really don't know what's going on with Miami right now. We all think we know what we know, right? I believe they're a really good team. I think they're probably a top 5 team. I'm not convinced that they're number 3 team right now, but I'm not saying they're not, right? I'm just saying I think this game is going to tell us what we want to know, and if they beat the Noles like I think they are, that solidifies them as one of the top 3 teams in the country. Obviously, they lose there. It speaks for itself. So those are the 3 things I'm looking at. Big matchup. Excited about it. Can't wait to see what's going to happen this weekend. I'm sure everybody else is out there. Another game of the week, right, for the Noles. Let's see if they can show up. Peace.